All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome everybody back to our Kinyan Torah project. I want to thank Rav Nata, who did the first day of the project this year, and thank all of our members who have signed up to do the rest of the project this year. I pray that as we study and teach each other the words of the Brisa, teaching us the ways of acquiring Torah, we should merit to have a better acquisition of Torah and greater Kabbalah Torah on Shavuos Haba Aleinu L'Tova at the end of the Yomer period, through which we will be studying. So the second way the Brisa says of acquiring Torah is b'shmias ha'ozen, with the listening of the ear. And I think that classically there are two different interpretations to understanding what b'shmias ha'ozen means. One is simple. You have to listen. You have to listen. It means you have to listen to your Rebbe. It means, first of all, you have to have a Rebbe. And after picking a Rebbe, you have to listen to the Rebbe. Now, it seems simple and it seems obvious that you have to listen to a Rebbe, but life experience has taught me otherwise. I'll tell you an interesting story. I once had a Talmud. Sometimes this happens. I teach in high school also. And so I once had a Talmud who came back from a few years of study in Eretz Yisrael. And he was in my house. He was back, after a few years of study, and he was sitting in my house, and we were talking, and a particular sugya came up, whatever it was, and he said, I think that this is a problem, Rabbi, and the truth is, Allah and Shulchan Aruch, I was aware of the situation, and I said, no, I don't think it's a problem. Mechaber Paskin's not that way. There's two opinions in the Rishonim. Mechaber Paskin's not that way, and he started bringing me all sorts of objections. But maybe it's this, and maybe it's that, and maybe it's this. I said, yeah, listen, okay, good, we're big lamdanim. Everyone's big lamdanim. But the truth is that the halacha is like this. This is one thing you have to pick a Rebbe. You have to have, not everybody has to be a Rebbe. But when you pick a Rebbe, so you have to listen to your Rebbe. You have people, you have Talmidim, and you have Balabatim, people who the whole persona in learning is always to try to slug up the Rebbe. It's not always a bad thing. There's a milchamta shel Torah, there's a fight of Torah. But the Rebbe says a halacha, and that's the halacha. There has to be a shmias ha'ozen. You have to not only want to follow the Rebbe, you have to want to listen. You have to want to listen. I think that's one interpretation. B'shmias ha'ozen. You have to listen. You have to listen. There's another interpretation that I think is really, really interesting. Other interpretation, b'shmias ha'ozen, is that if you want to acquire Torah, I hope you're still listening because I like this pshat better. If you want to acquire Torah, so it might not just be that you're supposed to read the Gemara, read the halacha, read the psukim, but it could be that you also have to hear it. Not just from somebody else, not just from a Rebbe. When you're learning on your own, it could be that you need to hear it. The Shulchan Aruch Harav Paskins in Hilchos Talmud Torah in Perek Beis, Seif Yud Beis. Listen to this psak of the Shulchan Aruch Harav. Beis Yud Beis, Hilchos Talmud Torah. Shulchan Aruch Harav Paskins. V'chol adam tzarech lizoyer lahotzi b'svasav u'lahashmiya la'ozno kol ma shalom made bain b'mikra, b'mishnah, u'b'talmud. A person has to be careful, tzarech lizahir, lahotzi b'svasav, to speak with your lips, ulahashmiya la'oznav, and to hear to your ears when you're learning, whether you're learning Mikra, Chumash, or Tanakh, or you're learning Mishnah, or you're learning Gemara, Ela imkein b'shas iyun lahavin davar mitoch davar, unless you're deep in thought, trying to figure out an idea to the depths of an idea, so then you can be quiet and just think, ponder, ruminate, and contemplate on that idea. However, v'chol ma shalomed b'hirhur levad, ve'efshar lo lahotzi b'svasa ve'eno motzi, anything that you could have learned with speaking it as well, and instead of speaking it, you just think it in your head, or you just scan it with your eyes without saying the words audibly with your mouth to your ears. Eino yotzi belimod zeh chovas mitzvos v'limadatem osam. You do not fulfill with such learning the obligation and the mitzvah of Talmud Torah. That is a tremendous chiddush that the Shulchan Aruch Harav says. He brings proof text, and the Shulchan Aruch Harav says, though, that if you could have said the words out loud and heard them to your ears and you failed to do such, you have not fulfilled the mitzvah of Talmud Torah. It appears that built into the system is that if you want to learn, it's not enough to just scan it with your eyes or think it in your head. You have to also say it with your mouth and hear it to your ears. I believe in the science, this is called active learning. It's called active learning. The way that memory works is that we recall things better, we learn things better, the more neurological pathways we create to any given such idea. And therefore, if I just scan it with my eyes, so I've processed that information in one way. If I then speak it aloud and hear it to my ear, I have processed the information in two additional ways. It's interesting. Right now, I'm just projecting. I don't know if this is true or not, but if you look at this perek in the Shulchan Aruch Harav, Perek Beis in Hilchos Talmud Torah, the perek in its entirety, not absolutely in its entirety, but the large majority of the perek is talking about the importance of remembering the ideas that you learn. And what happens if I can't remember? And what happens if I don't remember? And the Shulchan Aruch Harav says that you need to review and you need to chazer, and then at the end of this perek, at the very end of this perek, where he tells us the importance of remembering the Torah that we learn and the importance of review and not forgetting the Torah that we learn, and what happens if I forget, at the end of this parak is where he has this halacha. Now the person has to hear that which he's learning, he has to say it and he has to hear it, and maybe, just maybe, is because the Shulchan Aruch Harav already knew this idea. And the Torah tells us in study of Torah, we don't just scan it with our eyes, but one of the ways of acquiring Torah is to hear to your ears, is to speak it aloud and to hear it to your ears, processing the Torah in additional ways so that we'll be able to recall it later. Mi'itain, we'll watch these videos, we'll say them over in our own words, and we'll be able to remember and recall the Torah which we learned, so that Shavuos this year should be a tremendous Kabbalas HaTorah for us here in Memphis. Everybody, thank you for listening and have a great day.